Well, everybody wants to know about this Saintmungus 11 bow here, and as you can see, we got it +4 on it. This one is going to be a critical strike weapon, or weapon crit rate plus 70% for having it at +4, and this one is actually a lot of fun to use. I did have a pretty good run with this. I only ran it through a chapter, and I don't really have the perfect build for it yet, but I can kind of explain how I built mine and how it's actually working pretty good for me. But you may be looking at this going, surpass +4, how did you get this already? Well, we took our good old Nashir and pretty much swapped it over to this. Still, gem sets on this portion isn't really too terrible. Critical hits, additional damage, combos, additional damage on that, damage to bosses, bonus damage to targets with higher HP, and then casting a skill with 30% chance. This one is going to be a lot focused around crit for me and also focused around skill. Now there is a couple of other micro things I kind of focused on, but just to really make sure that this thing was going to push it to its limits, we popped on an Arcane A10 on it, so we do have that final skill, the Mythic Quality Enhancement of Holy Radiance, Bow of Ilar, which by the way, Ilar is the big heavy hitter on this thing here. Each dagger increases dagger crit rate by an additional 3%, stacking up to 10 layers, and increases angel dagger damage coefficient to 30%. Now I didn't land that actual new angel dagger gem on it. There's still some work that needs to be done on this, but I just kind of wanted to throw some things on and kind of see how well it went. But the other thing I did do was I took one of my rings down. I didn't go and swap on that, but we now have the Shadow Blade here, or Severa's Fang, and the big reason I wanted to go for that was just those dagger skills that are inside this. But this one, I really didn't have the best selection of gems on it. You can see here, there's a lot of lightning stuff I still have. I mean, there's some other good ones too, but given that this one, and when I dismantled that, I forgot to put the slots back on. So even over here too, we still have a lot of lightning. So in that situation, I am still building for kind of using some lightning in there. Lightning Dagger, another great way too to kind of add to that. So that's kind of one of my micro things I was focusing on top of the crit, on top of the skill. I did also go and just take the Arcane on that. We now have that at 1 star at least, so we at least have that unlocked, which is going to give the final dagger damage an additional 10%, so, or 0 stars I should say it for having unlocked. I really think that's kind of dumb. You unlock it, it's still at 0 stars, but I'm not going to get too much into that. But those are kind of the two main focuses that I have for going and having my gear set on. Now, there's a lot of kind of questions as far as who to use for the adventurer. I'm still using Daji here, and kind of the big reason behind that is you can see right here, in Demon Queen form, each lightning or flame wave increases Daji's demonic aura, stacking up to 10 times. So I figure I would utilize that lightning, put it towards that, and just kind of see how well it went. Worked pretty good for me. Am I saying that that's a perfect situation to go and use on this one? No, but this is what I'm using for my first time going in with this. Now looking at my stats, just to kind of let you know where I'm sitting here, crit rate 20%, weapon crit rate almost 100%, and then the skill crit rates at 28%. Lightning crit, not really too worried about that, but going down, my actual skill damage that I have on here is 358%. So those are kind of the big ones that I'm focusing around on it, or at least some of my higher numbers. Crit damage, that's at 324%, and then the other stats we have in here are all kind of not really anything to worry about. So in this situation, I'm using a lot of skill. That's where I am still using the Sphinx as my main one. And I really didn't change any of my deployed at all because it seems to be working for me no matter what I'm putting in. The artifact though, this one I was a little bit bummed to have to change because I have been using the book, but the fact that the lightning's there, I mean, yeah, we're gonna be throwing some out, but I didn't want that to be my main focus. So I did go over to the cone here, or the Calorie Shrine, and this thing seemed to pop out a lot of damage in here of after the skill is triggered 6 times. That's where you're getting that Sunday bombardment. And like I said, we're putting a lot of skill into this, skill damage. So that thing really seemed to help me out in going and beating this chapter. But the pets, I kept those ones the same at least, and the main reason is I obviously want to use Elsa, I want to go and use Freya there. As far as the Flash though, I have this at an Arcana plus 10, so it just made sense to go and just get those extra stats in there. It's strong for me, I've got it built up, so it didn't make too much of a sense to go and swap it to something else. Probably something better out there, just giving the reasoning behind what I did. But when it comes to the brands and heroes on this is where I actually switched over to the Legendary Ranger, and the big reason I really wanted to kind of go in with this here is for that last and final line there. Hero ignores dodge plus 30% for 3 rounds. And I believe that ignore dodge, that's the one that we're ignoring the enemy's dodge. So if they have 100% dodge, you just dropped it down to 70%. The last thing I wanted was to have my Ilar there go and make its final attack and just have the enemy dodge it. So that was the reasoning behind that. I mean, as far as the whole tree on it, I'm still running the actual Ghost Legacy on it. The Ranger one, I kind of would have liked to switch over to it, at least to see what it would do for the daggers, but my middle row on this just isn't that great at all. So it didn't really make too much sense to go and pop it on. Maybe once I get those things a little bit higher there, which didn't even realize this one right here, I don't even have upgraded or slotted. So we'll just throw that on there. But that was my main kind of goal, is like, let's go and focus and really pay attention to the one that's going to be the highest and all filled up on me, and we'll try that one later on. We have a little better understanding. But still, night of the end, we're using that. The Joker, I've been using that nonstop. That seems to work pretty good. That is also going to give the Flame Wave, the Lightning, and the Rage Recovery in there. So remember, dodgy, Flame Wave, Lightning, going to benefit from those. And that's also the reason why I threw the Sharp Rogue on, which in all daggers may trigger a Fire Wave. So hoping that that might kind of go and impact it a little bit. Is it going to be the biggest number on the screen? No, but it just kind of made sense to kind of synchronize some of this stuff inside there. And then I am using that Wise Archdemon, and the fact of that skill crit rate plus 15% just seemed to be a good idea in there. And last and finally, because we are all focused around that crit, clearly we want to use a White Robe Wizard to give that +2, an extra 200%. Seems pretty solid to me. So going in there, this thing seemed to be pretty strong. It's holding up on its own. The Rage skill isn't that bad. The actual Angel Dagger is not too bad. The main skill of Ilar there, that's going to be the big one. And you can see the Calorie Trine also putting up some big numbers too for launching out all those skills. I just about got every single dagger possible. I didn't get the Heal Dagger. I did get ×2 on it, and I also got the Rage Dagger at its highest form. No Rage proficiency, and I did get a dagger skill that was going to increase the amount of damage for each dagger that's thrown out, but I didn't get the one that was going to allow it to be every single turn we're launching out all those daggers. Still saw about 120, I think was the highest I had for my chain combo hit on it. And as far as the actual skills you see down below, or my buffs, my nerfs, whatever you want to call them, you'll actually see 2 of those Angel Bow ones out there. The first one you're going to see is the 10 stacks on it. That's for that 10-star Arcana on it. The one where each dagger increases dagger crit rate by an additional 3%, stacking up to 10 layers, and increasing the Angel Dagger coefficient by 30%. But the R1's going to be the actual kind of stats we've seen inside here of +1 charge. And then the other one there is going to be the stacks of how many daggers we're throwing out on top of that restore charge there. So you can see mine, I think I got up to like 25 was the highest on it there, which isn't really bad. Each one of those is going to give a 25% damage coefficient for that Angel Dagger, and not really sure if there's a cap on it. I mean, it doesn't sound like there is, but don't know if anybody's really pushed it to that full limit. As we said in the video the other day, it seems like that shield is a little bugged there, that if you are mounted, it sounds like the damage is going right through the shield, but if you're not a mount, that's going to take effect for it. So not sure if it is a bug, not sure if that's something that's going to get fixed, but one Angel Dagger thrown, dagger damage plus 50%, global attack plus 35%. After the hero throws an Angel Dagger, the Ilar Angel deals 3.5% Angel Dagger damage. We clearly could see that. Overall, this thing for a first run feels pretty nice on it. Did it feel like the strongest freaking thing in the world? No, but I don't know if I have everything 100% built right on it. I mean, even going in with that actual Ranger there, we only had enough books to take it up to Legendary +2, so normally maybe going with the Ghost sitting at +2, that could just kind of make a little bit of a difference in it also. Still, there's plenty of other things I can change in here, going in with a different Adventurer, giving that actual Ranger Legacy a try on it, and even my actual artifacts, if I hit them stronger there, probably going into something like the Pangu there, that'd be a good option, or even the Flying Knife. See a lot of people saying the Pangu seems to put better outputs on, so that might be the way to go, but these things just aren't really sitting that high for me compared to what I have. But who knows, throwing it on might actually do me some good. And clearly we still have a lot of gems we could go and refine, switch around onto, not to mention the whole new collectibles, the relics there. The ones I have slotted are kind of focused on lightning also, so may not be the best scenario for what I have, but I can make a lot of tweaks to still make this thing stronger. So we're going to leave this thing on for a little bit, kind of just feel it out, play with it, and we'll probably make a best build guide once we have a little bit of a better idea of how we should really use this thing. But overall, I like this. It was a lot of fun. Like I said, planning on testing it out some more, seeing where it goes. But if you didn't see the video I just posted a little bit ago of all the new rewards coming to that Cappy capsule, you better get over there and watch this video. Thanks for watching, and remember, I pick my butt.